maybe we can now go to the better parts, the ups and the downs of the
Yes.
what the question was more about. This was a little bit of a back story or background information. What do you think the benefits would be for you for smoking?
The benefits is for me personally, I like doing it because I smoke cigarettes, because it's nice to have a beer in your hand and smoke a cigarette on a sunny day or evening, or in the evening, or when I wake up with a coffee. It brings joy in my life when I can wake up and I have a full pack of cigarettes and I know I'm not gonna be out of it for an entire day.
That's a good feeling. I know that one. The availability and having it and don't have to worry about buying new is especially a very triggering one. Like, oh, okay, I can smoke and I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to buy new things. I can just start the day good.
Indeed.
So I think for me it's pretty similar, but also not, because I think smoking is way more socially accepted, which makes it more easy to do in situations that, for example, smoking a joint would be less optimal.
That's true.
Even though that both are like I think people know me good enough to know that I don't really care about that too much. But there are still situations I can think of that clearly are different for smokers versus weed smokers.
Yeah.
So for me, the ups obviously is like a instant high. Like I feel good. I don't have to worry about anything. Especially indeed when you have still a lot of left. You don't have to worry about getting new. You feel like all the problems in your life, for me, are minimized. So I think if I worry too much about something and I smoke, it will take the worry away. But this can also be like a bit counter. How do you say? This can also be like the opposite. For example, if I feel really happy and I smoke, my joy levels, I think, gets diminished. This sounds weird, because you would say initially this would exaggerate or like elevate this, but I think I came to a point where it's not more about elevating your joy, or it's more about keeping a steady basis. And I think the best way for me to describe this is with paint. So I'm gonna pull this paint up. Let me put this out here.
Yeah.
So how I see is that people in life, they have their ups and they have their downs, and they have the ups and downs. So this is like time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but you're also watching the stream, I think, right?
Yes.
So in the beginning, when you're like freshly smoker, you do the smoking the first time, I think it actually elevates your happiness and your good mood. So for example, if I smoke weed the first times, I would actually have a higher peak, I think. So this is how I see initial smoking, and this is not a problematic one in the sense that it elevates the mood that you're in, and it brings it to a new level that you maybe have not experienced before.
True.
I think it's maybe also similar for cigarettes in that sense. For example, you said the beer with the cigarettes kind of case. I think it also works for me that way, how I feel it. If I smoke a cigarette, when I'm drinking, I feel better, I feel happier, I feel more in the, how to say it, I feel experiencing like I'm experiencing more the moment.
Yes, that's what I would say also.
So I think for me, I'm still in this stage 1 for cigarettes, for example. Luckily enough, I don't have an addiction to cigarettes, or like I do have an addiction to weed. So in a sense, I do have an addiction to cigarettes, but I'm trying to separate these for the example here.
Yes.
I think the second stage of addiction is that you actually smoke it also on days when you're feeling less good. And this
True.
does not really help too much, but I think it does lower the amount of sadness you feel.
Yeah, but maybe it also enhances the amount of sadness, because sometimes when I smoke, when I'm not feeling good, it's just to fuel my addiction. But after that one cigarette that I not even finished a whole, I'm feeling quite bad already, because it's not easing my it's not feeding to my well-being.
Okay, that's a good point. Maybe I went too fast with this one. So you think it's also maybe more like this then? That it
Sometimes it can be like this when I'm feeling not that good, but most of the time it's ups and downs.
so it's like more extreme maybe. Like if you feel good, it's more better. If you feel bad, it's worse.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah.
Okay, no, I can follow that. I think what I was saying was maybe already the third phase that I'm going with. So I think these situations, the first stage, these are the good ones, like drugs, and especially addictive drugs. They do have good properties, I think. And the important stuff is that they can enhance the good situations. I think
That's true.
when you're starting to come in the second stage, it becomes difficult, because now you kind of are addicted already, I think. Right? You know it's maybe not going to help your situation, but you want to take your mind off, and then the fear and the guilt kicks in that you did smoke when it was maybe not a good moment to smoke. What do you think?
Could you repeat it one more time?
So I think starting from the second stage, when you are smoking, when you're not feeling good, then it becomes more like an addiction, because you cognitively or you rationally know that it's not a good moment, but still you think it will fix your situation, and then you start smoking and you realize it actually enhances your fears and your guilt.
That's true. Yes, I have that feeling, the same feeling.
So I think these ones are when it goes bad, or like when you realize that you're getting addicted, and then you're like, maybe I should tone down a bit. But I think at that point you're most of the time already too deep. So what I was going for, and that is how I feel now, and I can give another example later. And Laura, don't worry, I'll come to your question a bit later, but I want to explain this point first. So how I see addiction now for me, it is actually kind of a balancing out. So when I have good moments, this will kind of balance out and create like a neutral moment for me. And when I have a bad moment, so I would say the resulting is something like this. I feel pretty neutral all the time. This is not bad, this is not good, but I feel like my good moments are not as bright and as joyful as they should be. And my bad moments are not that bad, and that
It's mellowing out all the feelings a little bit.
yeah, and it makes my experience of life just something neutral. Like I'm not feeling too much joy, I'm not feeling too much sadness. Sorry?
Would you say that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think that's definitely a bad thing, because that's also why I want to kind of change it, and why I'm forcing myself to do new things and experience things more sober. As I find this can be a good strategy for people that really don't want to achieve anything in life. I think if you just want to live and you want to have neutral experiences, you want to just get on with your time and forget the time and just move on, I think this is fine. And I don't blame people or I don't judge people for being this way, but I found for myself that I want to achieve more than that in life. What do you think about what I just said?
I think it's great that you want to change the way you feel about your addiction, but it always comes at a cost, I think.
What kind of
And I
costs?
don't know. Yeah, if you stop smoking weed, will you smoke more cigarettes? It will replace something, because I think stopping with the addiction fuels another addiction. People who stop smoking cigarettes will start eating more sugars.
Okay.
I don't think you can stop from something just like that and don't have any consequences.
So once you get into the addiction trap, there's no way out, or how do you see that?
I think there's a way out, but it's a slow process.
I think the ups for me is that I can feel good, or like neutral good, at any point in my life. If I feel bad, if I feel like I can't control the situation, I can just smoke and I can feel a lot better about it, and I can feel like I take on the problem when I'm sober again. It's just like an easy procrastination of a problem that you actually have to fix at that moment, but you feel like, it's not that important in the bigger picture, and you can just procrastinate it a bit and yeah, don't act upon it right now. So it made me also enjoy the motion of it. So I also enjoy smoking it, and I think this one I'm pretty. This one is, I think, the most difficult for me. The handling of smoking and actually being busy smoking is one of the great things I like about smoking. I think you have the same feeling about that. The handling of the cigarettes or the smoking of it.
I
It's
really love it.
the doing it is really addictive. I don't know how that works, but I feel like this is a big part of the addiction. Not really the effect I'm getting from it. It's also nice, but especially the moment when you're smoking, you don't have to worry about anything, and in that moment you're really present with what you're doing. You're like, I'm smoking this cigarette of this joint, I've earned it, and I'm taking this moment for myself or with others. Do you?
True.
And I think I would almost say that's better feeling than the feeling afterwards. How would you say that? Or how do you think about what do you think about that?
What do you think about this? I like this. No. It's a good analogy. Now I just made dinner while I was talking to you, and I'm enjoying my dinner. But you know what I'm gonna enjoy even more? The cigarette after my dinner. That's gonna be the best cigarette I have today.
Are you already looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it.
So you're not enjoying the food at this moment, but you're already thinking about the cigarette afterwards.
No, I'm really enjoying the food. I made it
Okay,
myself. It's a
okay.
great pasta I just made here with linguine, with dragon, with aardbei,
Okay,
and a
okay.
little bit of chicken strips. But I know I'm gonna enjoy the cigarette after this very much. I'm not thinking about it all the time, but I know when I finish my dinner, I'm gonna be gonna enjoy my cigarette.
Okay, okay. That's also weird, like that one addiction feeds into the other one. It becomes like a train of addictions, you know? You're enjoying something, and then you think about the next. You're drinking a pint, and when you're drinking, you're thinking about the cigarette that comes afterwards, and how that would be very nice. And then you go smoking, and then you're already like, oh, I can drink more and enjoy
It's
more.
also the handling. It's the handling also of it. I'm gonna take my pack out of my pockets, take my lighter out of my pockets, take the cigarettes, put it in my mouth, and then light.
There are a lot of good things about it. You can try and condition yourself in a way that it works for you. Like you can say, I do this bad or this difficult thing, and then I reward myself with my addiction. And especially the handling of the addiction is very rewarding, I would say. After it's done, it's less rewarding. You're more in a neutral, happy state, in the sense that it's kind of like a curve going up, and the peak you reach when you just finished your cigarette or your joint, and then it goes downwards afterwards.